Speaking of which, welcome back to the Magic Board Quest. Today I'm here with my friend Sal, one of the weird board bros, and we're going to look at his insane collection of surfboards and talk about the Magic surfboard. Starting off, we've got the 11.0 Travis Reynolds glider. This outline is a little more on the Skip Fry Eagle side of things. It's got parallel rails, pulled in nose and tail, and a wide point slightly forward. It's got a good amount of rocker, but it's stretched across 11 feet. Got about a mile worth of surfboard. So it already starts off with some belly. Bunch of belly. Starts to kind of go flat, and then maybe see a little double. Yeah, a little tiny touch of double. Wow. Whoa. Hold on. Then we go spiral V. Nice deep one. Wowee. Holy biscuits. Wow. That's insane. That's just a nice, well, it's pretty down actually. Nice big rail. So I know we're gonna start here. I know this is at least one of the Magic boards. Tell me what do we got here?
So this is an 11-foot Travis Reynolds glider.
Yeah.
It's pretty old. I'm like the third owner of it, and I'm guessing 50 or 100 people have ridden this board at one time or another in Santa Cruz. For me, this board became what got me off a shortboard.
Okay.
And then all the mid-links are reduced sizes of this. Down even to like a 6.6. I'm like, I want this board, but in a 6.6 with some of the advantages of 6.6.
Yeah.
So to me, the gliding, it's just a magical, flowing, not quite weightless feeling. And then you start thinking more about the wave. You're looking at sections. You're thinking about making those sections. And it just changes your relationship to the wave. And the first wave I caught within like literally 3 seconds, I was like, this is something I've never felt or experienced, and I want more of this. Like, to me, this is 10 out of 10 speed and momentum and flow, but it's actually, I think, easy to surf. Like, on the tail, it turns easily. And in big surf, you feel like you're riding a huge shortboard.
Wow, crazy.
And I think, you know, you'll talk more about concave, but I think the massive amount of V, once you get back over the tail, it comes around and surfs, I think, not difficultly. I could surf it every day. You can surf it from ankle high to triple overhead.
Then we've got this 8.6 Larry Mabile. It's a Magic type of template, but it's a little more pointy, a little more pulled in. And these kind of pulled in egg outlines can be a good beginner board or for someone with more experience to mix it up and ride bigger boards. And like most of Sal's board, this has a nice low continuous rocker. All right, what do we got here? A little bit of belly. Yeah, belly kind of all the way, huh? And then I guess that starts to become V. Yeah, a little bit of V. And then some V out the back. Still down rail. Don't really know how to describe how that's different.
This board, what's kind of magical about it is, again, I don't know how to describe it. It like sets back on its back rail, makes a nice top turn, loops back around the bottom turn, and then finds its flow super easy.
Cool.
And so again, it's an 8.6, so it paddles super well. You get tons of waves. It opens up the scale of waves you can get, and you can chase waves like set swingers.
Cool.
But it surfs super easy and flowy. And you know, I probably ride it with a leash half the time, without a leash half the time. So you can size it down into like comfortable, easy flowing surf. In small summer surf, it's a little thin and you know, hard to catch waves with.
So you have a couple 8.6 or 8.6 range boards. Like, how does this fit in? Like, how does it compare to the other ones?
So the Travis board that we were just looking at would be at the high end of more macking, heavy surf. This would be kind of at the lower end of friendly, easy surf. Like, I imagine this would be a Scorpion Bay board, which is where Larry Mabile hangs out. And then I have the Sea Bucket that's kind of in between. And the Sea Bucket is a little fuller volume, a little more down rail, and does well in kind of maybe head and a half surf.
Got it.
But it has a little bit more rocker.
Yeah.
And you get down into like this type of surf and that sea bucket just feels kind of boggy, whereas this still feels flowy and light and fun.
Cool.
So the sea bucket wants a little bit bigger wave.
Got it. Cool.
So this is, I don't know how to describe it. It's just magic. It's fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. Every time I ride it, I come in, I was like, that was the right board choice. Yeah, and when you're choosing between boards, you don't always feel that way.
Yeah. Then we've got the 7.0 Travis Reynolds Pepper Jam. This is Sal's daily driver. It's got a similar outline to the Mabile, but sized down a little bit. And Sal likes bigger, flatter single fins with down rails and a narrow tail. So this checks all of those boxes.
All right. Little single into double. Oh, just double. And then out the back, sick. Down rail a little bit rounder.
Another Travis Reynolds. What do we got here?
Another Travis Reynolds. This one's called Pepper Jam. This is a 7.0. It's 22 wide. I think what's unique about this board, and you kind of observed it when you were pulling out of the bag, is kind of the way the foam is carried forward, which I don't know if the camera will be able to pick it up, but
it's got,
I'm a big guy, so it brings all this volume up into the chest, and then kind of has this rounded out beak up in the nose. And the first thing I noticed about this board when I tried it was that it paddled as good as a 7.6 or a 7.8. But it's very foam forward, so it really thins out, and you can feel this tail right here is actually super thin.
Cool.
And so when you are surfing off the tail, when you're doing your backside turn or your bottom turn, and it's down rail like you were observing, it feels super engaged with the wave and really flowy. And it feels like a heavy, super heavy shortboard. In that you can feel the swing weight, not necessarily in a negative way, but it definitely, like that swing weight when you initially kind of are coming into the turn, it feels heavy. But then as you're dropping down into that backside turn, that weight just pulls it in and kind of brings you around and has a kind of a magical feeling.
Oh, cool.
And it's pretty flat. So when you're surfing it in bigger surf, it really needs to be, you're on the tail when you're dropping.
How would you compare this to, like, I think of the Channel Islands?
Yeah, so I have a 610 Channel Islands, which it's not half as much volume, but some days it feels like it. Like it just has a little more, the Channel Islands board has a little more continuous rocker, doesn't paddle like this board. But on the flip side of that, the Channel Islands, like in a steep, shortboardy drop, feels a little more effortless and less intellectual. So the Channel Islands board surfs a little more like a shortboard I'd be familiar with.
DNA, this is maybe a little more mid-length.
Exactly. And so this one is a little more intellectual, a little more challenging on that drop and kind of first initial kind of coming up to trim. But this board feels like it has more flow and energy and kind of glider-ish feel to it.
Then finally, we've got the 6.0 Christenson Fish. This is a more traditional style outline with very straight rails out the back. It's a pretty standard looking rocker, and overall the 6.0 has a lot of foam. I'd be interested to try one more in the like 5.6 range.
All right, what do we got here? A little bit of, I guess we'll call that V. And then it starts to go flat with, a little bit of double there. Oh, then single. Ooh, crashing into these freaking single, nice deep single. All the way out the back. Whoa, yeah, nice. Another pretty solidly down rail.
I feel like in Santa Cruz, you want to have a board that fits well in a tight space. Particularly at low tide. And there's particular areas of the reef that are going to essentially work really well, kind of tight, right on the reef, and you want something that's just flowy in that tight space. And so this is kind of like a miniature mid-length as far as I'm concerned. So this is a replacement of a Magic board that I'm hoping is also Magic too. And my first one was a 510. This is a 6.0. So I thought 510 was Magic, and that board worked really well, but I felt like I was always getting into the wave too late and behind the section. And so stepping up to the 6 foot just means I get in a little earlier, I'm able to get high in the wave, and I get that section making capacity and ability that I want in a board. So it's probably technically a little big for me, but I like the paddleability of it. And there's something like we were talking kind of when we were pulling this out of the bag of like the down rail, the volume under the chest, kind of thinned out here, that it's kind of that same thing that it just feels natural in the water, paddling it, I catch waves. And then immediately when I'm up to my feet, I can feel flow and speed. This is a 9.6 switchblade from Wooden. This is his personal board. It's probably a little too small for me, but works kind of perfect.
That is a knife.
So this right here is a modified version, I think, of a Travis Reynolds mini glider. This is a board for big days. 3-fin bonzer. Again, bonzers that were what really taught me that engaged backside turn feeling. So it's a big old fatty ocean racer. My most proud part of this, and you can get in it, you see the ding right there?
Oh yeah, nice.
That right there is the shape of my front mandible.
Oh no.
But this thing is just super playful and fun.
Wow, sick.
Just for the sake of like exploring something unique. Check out the way that's got a little bit of flair. And then look how much tail kick it has.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
The color, what the heck, dude? You have all the sickest resin chops.
But this is a stone fruit from Travis.
Oh yeah.
And this I would also put out for someone is like a one board quiver. Kind of shifted my mind around kind of liking longboards that are more about flow and swooping than they are about getting locked in.
Wow.
And so this has that kind of swoopy feel.
Sick.
Oh shoot.
So this is
That's pretty. Longfish. Oh yeah, I see the fins. Holy crap.
And what's cool about this is a longfish compared to some others is it's pretty narrow in the tail.
All right, Sal. Tell me, which one is the magic board?
The one that had the most influence on my life and kind of shifting my attitude about surfing is definitely the 11-foot glider. Like hands down.
Yeah.
In terms of like what gets used the most, then it might be the green board that we looked at, the 7-foot, the egg. Just because it operates so well. Like I feel like the glider operates in like this space and this space. And that green board operates in the space in between.
Nice.
In a way.
Cool. And what for you makes a board magic?
I would say kind of drive and flow. So like in a shorter board, the magic feel is something around feeling like it has a short turn radius, but also feels kind of poppy and gathering of speed versus kind of like cutting speed or spraying water.
Right.
Particularly on a backside turn, I want a board that isn't going to spray water, a board that's going to engage the rail and feel like it carries speed.
Cool.
So that would be like a short board. And then going up to a bigger board, I want to know, is it going to feel lively? Is it going to feel sprightly under my feet even though the thing's huge? And the glider does. And that blue Wooden that we pulled out earlier, they're big boards, that the orange Travis Reynolds board. Those are longboards that I've gotten on and they feel soulful and sprightly and flowy, even though they're large. Whereas other boards, they feel stable, they hold rail well, they trim fine, but they don't have a flowy feel in that same kind of way. So that's what I'm looking for. And oftentimes you can tell halfway down the first wave.
All right, thanks for joining us on the quest for the magic board. We'll see you next time.